Hey viewers, Chris from Chris Tanker with you. It's time for your Nostalgia Wednesday. This is episode number 9. For those of you that are still new to my Nostalgia Wednesday series, what it is I like to go over fairly recent news events that happened this week in history. I usually go back no more than 20 or 30 years at the absolute most. Just over news bits that kind of stick out, at least in my memory, or that I think folks a little bit older than me might remember. And I also go over the Hot 100 and Hot Country number ones from 1, 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get over to the news. Oh, before I forget, if it's your birthday this week, happy birthday from Chris Country. Alright, let's get on to your news, shall we? First off the docket, August 18th, 1986, the Hoard Stern radio show premieres in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on WYSP 94.1 FM. August 19th of 1984, the Republican convention in Houston nominated Ronald Reagan as their presidential hopeful. On August 20th of 1984, President Gerald Ford assumes office as President Nixon resigns. Of course, I wasn't around for that, but I'm pretty sure many of you remember Nixon walking out to Marine One and doing his famous double peace sign salute thing as he got into the chopper for the final time. Anyway, continuing on. August 20th of 1993, Hoard Stern is fired from WLUP-AM in Chicago. August 20th of 1993, same year, same day of course, The Return of Zork is released on PC. Back then, games such as The Return of Zork came both on CD, or since the CD-ROM was still fairly new at the time, they also came out in floppy disks. For The Return of Zork, he's had either 1 CD or 12 floppy disks. Let's see. August 20th of 2002, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 released for the Nintendo 64. This is the final Nintendo 64 game release. After that, there were no more Nintendo 64 game releases. I think they were switching over to the GameCube, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, of course, feel free to send me a comment down below. August 20th of 2008, Spanair Flight 5022 from Madrid to Gran Canaria skids off the runway and crashes at Barajas Airport. 146 people are killed in the crash, 8 more die afterwards, only 18 people survive. I vaguely remember it. Not sure what caused the overrun off the top of my head. I'll probably throw something in the subtitle down there to let you know. Anyway, August 21st of 1988, ceasefire occurs between Iraq and Iran after more than 8 years of war. August 21st of 1989, the Voyager 2 begins its flyby of Neptune. August 20, same day, 1993, NASA loses contact with the Mars Observer. I believe this was, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't a landing craft per se. I think it was just an orbiting craft. I can't remember I'm kind of tired today, and I can't remember off the top of my head what exactly happened with that. Again, I'll throw something down here for you. Let's see here. Anyway, same day, 1996, the Netscape Browser 3.0 is released. I actually used that when my family first got the internet way back when. I'm not sure if it was 3.0 back then. It might have already upgraded, but I do remember using Netscape for a little bit when I first learned how to peruse the internet. August 22nd of 1975, an assassination attempt on Gerald Ford. Same day, 1984, the last VW Rabbit produced rolls off the assembly line. Same day, 1984, the Republican convention in Dallas again nominates President Reagan with Vice President Bush. And here's one for all of my wonderful game fans, because I know, like me, a lot of you remember this one. Same day, 1987, Legend of Zelda released for the NES. It was the first gold cartridge for the Nintendo, and also the first battery pack game save feature. I've actually played Zelda once or twice. I'm pretty sure a lot of my friends remember playing it, but it was the 22nd of August in '87 when that game came out. And I was still a little baby. I think about 3-4 months old at the time, so of course I wouldn't remember when they came out. But anyway. Same date, 2003, Alabama Chief Justice Roy Moore is suspended after refusing to comply with a federal court order to remove a rock inscribed with the Ten Commandments from the lobby of the Alabama Supreme Court building. I remember this caused quite a bit of an uproar when this occurred. But I figured I'd share that with you. I know it's more recent history than what I usually cover, but it's still kind of important news. Anyway, August 23rd of 1991, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System is released, or the SNES. Would you believe back then the Super Nintendo sold for $200 brand new? When it first came out, it was bundled with Super Mario World. Other launch titles were Pilot Wings, which I played that game once or twice, F-Zero, SimCity, and Gradius 3. So, yeah, there you go. That Super Nintendo, which you could probably pick up almost for free nowadays, was $200 back in 1991. Who knew? Anyway, that's the news. Time to go ahead and head over to your Hot Country charts. 1 year ago, the number one was Angel Eyes by Love and Theft. 5 years ago, Taylor Swift was sitting pretty at number one with Should Have Said No. 10 years ago, Alan Jackson and Jimmy Buffett were keeping it between the navigational beacons with their It's 5 O'Clock similar hit. They were at their third week at number one with that particular single. 15 years ago, I'm Alright by Joji Messina reached number one. And 20 years ago, Doug Stone hit number one with his single, Why Didn't I Think of That? Alright, I've got good news for you all. Well, some may call it good news, others may not. Most of the songs that have been on the Hot 100 number ones with me for the past few weeks have ended. And have handed over the number one slot to other songs. Now, not all of the songs have done this. There's still a couple of repeats. But I believe, at least, yeah, it looks like 3 of them have. 2 or 3 of them. Anyway, here we go. 1 year ago, Whistle by Flo Rida hit number one for its first week at number one, of course. 5 years ago, Disturbia by Rihanna. 10 years ago, your number one was, of course, Crazy in Love by Beyonce featuring Jay-Z. They were now at their 6th week at number one. 15 years ago, This Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica at their 11th week. And 20 years ago, Can't Help Falling in Love by UB40 was now at its 5th week. So there you have it. Went through all my notes. There's your news and your Hot 100 and Hot Country number one histories. Of course, I'm Chris for Chris Country. You can always feel free to visit my Facebook page, Chris Country, or feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube videos. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, night, week, weekend, whatever time it happens to be when you're watching this video, and we will catch you on the next video. See you later.